I've organized the tarot in sequential order, and we're going to go ahead and talk about how to read each one of the cards using traditional and some non-traditional means. So, if you haven't been to this channel before, my name is A Healing Feeling on YouTube, and I would really appreciate if this video helps you whatsoever if you left a like, a comment down below, and subscribed. Now let's go ahead and get right into the video because I want to do this as quickly and as thoroughly as possible. The Fool. The Fool represents new beginnings. It also represents recklessness and jumping into the unknown. It represents innocence. It represents childlike nature. It represents things of that nature because of the things that you can see, and I'll be pointing them out in the card. You can also use non-traditional ways of reading it, like if it's in a specific reading, you could say, oh, pets might be in the equation, etc., etc. The new thing you'll be starting will be on a bright day, and this is how you read intuitively and not box yourself in to just traditional methods. Okay, it also has the number 0, which symbolizes infinity, and yeah, that's it for the Fool. Unless we talk about reversals, which I'm not going to do, but a couple other meanings could be like recklessness, doing something on faith alone without thinking about it logically, etc. Next, we have the Magician. I'm going to do this so it doesn't distract you. The Magician is a manifester. It signifies as above, so below. It is number 1 in the tarot deck, which signifies beginnings. This is the beginning of creation. You're creating your desired reality. This also signifies that someone has all the tools at their disposal, with each one of the suits represented here, in order to achieve what they need to achieve. The Magician also has the infinity symbol over his head. He also has a bunch of flowers. So this could also intuitively mean that you are creating something beautiful or creating something out of nothing. The High Priestess is all about knowledge. She holds the Torah here. And she's not only about knowledge and wisdom, but she's about spirituality as well. Okay, so this card often signifies wisdom, knowledge, spirituality. Also, something that's lesser known is that it does signify beauty as well and mastery of the self. We do have other clues here that we can go off of that are often overlooked, such as duality. We have a moon here, which could signify hidden knowledge. This is the number 2, and the number 2 is often about choices. Can be about other things though, such as 2 parties, partnerships, etc., etc. But let's not get into that because there are other cards representing that, and the High Priestess is about the aforementioned things more so. We have the Empress here. The Empress is under the sign of Venus. Okay? She has so much growth all around her and inside her because the Empress is often portrayed as pregnant. So essentially this is a card of growth, a card of confidence, a card of beauty, a card of empowerment. As she sits in her power, she is an empress, among other things. Also, you can see some signs of purity, some signs of brightness, comfort. If we're reading it intuitively, you can see all sorts of different things in this. Even with the crown on her head of flowers, it could mean something like victory in the things that have been growing, or it could literally also mean things like pregnancy, etc., or the birth of a new project if we're being metaphorical about it, which is oftentimes more likely in a reading, and etc., etc. So here we have the Emperor. The Emperor is all about stability. It's about sitting in your power, just like an emperor would. It's about taking action, and it's about, I think it's Mars and Aries that this card is. So it has a strong fire energy. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like I said in an earlier video, I'm not super astrologically inclined, but I do believe that that is the case. We see him donned in all red robes, and red is a symbol of action and power. He's also in armor, so this could be about guarding your legacy and guarding the things that are important to you. As well, I oftentimes read this card as a card that talks about building your empire. There's another card that also talks about that, but in my readings, I often see the Emperor as a builder, someone who builds their empire. We have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a figure that looks like a religious figure here, okay? So we do see two people here looking up to him. So this card is about someone that you can look up to, but it is also very much about things like commitments, marriages, contracts, and things of that nature. We have the Lovers. So in the Lovers, you see two people, and they are being watched over by an angel here. So this card is very much often about love, but it's also about passion, and it could be about passion in different ways depending on the reading that it is in. It could mean that something is being divinely blessed. It could mean something along the lines of soulmates or twin flames. But you also have, like, the red in it signifies passion to me. And the sun at the top here signifies to me that essentially this is a good thing, a bright thing. And we do have the Garden of Eden, the tree with the snake on it in the background. So if this card did come out in reverse, it could mean something along the lines of deception in love, etc., etc. Not that I read reversals, but I'm just going through some options here. But for the most part, this card is about love, passion, and blessings. We have the Chariot. The Chariot is about something coming in. Something, like the guy's sitting on a chariot. Something is coming in. And usually this card indicates that it's coming in at a quick speed. You also have the yin and yang symbol here with the two lions. And you have the wings here, which represent speed. With the yin and yang, this can be read in multiple ways. This could be read in one's own spirituality and relationships. unions, and he's in front of a big city. So this could also give small indications as to things in readings. Like if I were to have this card next to a card that suggests someone will be moving or leaving somewhere, like the 8 of Cups, I would potentially read this as someone moving to a city or something like that, because those small insights in the cards are actually very helpful and allow you to read to the best of your ability. Okay. Additionally, we have this crest here. So this card could symbolize a sense of patriotism. And I'm just throwing out here things here that are totally intuitive. I've already gone through the traditional meanings, but yeah, there's so much that you could learn from each card. Okay, we have strength. So this card is about strength, first and foremost. She also has the infinity symbol above her head. So this is about becoming the best version of yourself, the strongest version of yourself. This card is also about, she's holding the lion's mouth open. So this card is also about resilience and about having trust in the universe. I would also use little insights like kindness to animals, maybe potentially strength of spirit and purity of spirit based on what she's wearing. Of course, there's also the background you can look at, which is pretty simple. So you could say something along the lines of keep things simple in order to focus on whatever, etc., etc. But yeah, like I said, the main traditional meaning is strength. Having strength even when it's in difficult situations. The Hermit suggests a solitary time in someone's journey, a time of self-reflection, a time of going inward, a time of retreat. It also has other factors to consider, like the little light he's holding. That could mean a lot of different things. I have used it in various ways in different readings. He's holding a walking stick as well, so this could mean building strength while you are going through this period and working on yourself. And he is standing in a very dark background with snow under his feet. So it could mean that someone feels like they're in the dark, depending on where it is in the reading, among other things. This could also mean wisdom, as he looks like a wise old man. And those are just some traditional and intuitive meanings of the Hermit. With the Wheel of Fortune, this essentially is a wheel that is turning. Okay, and upright, this card normally means that fortune is in someone's favor. It means that someone is fortunate or something is going to be auspicious. It also has so much information around it. You have a little angel at the top, you have a little phoenix at the top, you have all sorts of, it looks like this card could also be very much signify that someone is divinely protected and being watched over. There's also little booklets that are being held by these characters. You have someone with a sword above the wheel. There's so much in this card that I actually have yet to explore still, but for the most part, this is a fortunate card. It means fortune is going to be in the favor of whoever's being read for. Next, we have Justice. Justice is a card of, well, justice. It's holding the scales in its left, well, she or he is holding the scales in their left hand and a sword in their right hand. So this could be about justice being enacted. I oftentimes read it as a card of good karma coming for people. They are all in red with a red background, so this also indicates to me a sense of power and potentially even action. The sword indicates clarity and communication, even though this isn't of the sword suit. Swords often indicate that in tarot, and we'll get to that. And there are plenty other things astrologically as well, like I forget which sign it is. I think it's a Libra that the scales represent. So it could have something to do with that. And that was Justice. So then we have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is all about waiting. It's about being in your waiting period. It's about potentially having someone hang you up to, not I want to say hang you up to dry, but like someone making you hang on, or you hanging on to something. Maybe you are having trouble letting go of a specific thing. That's another way you can read this. And then, you know, this guy is upside down on this, what looks like something similar to a cross, but it's just like a piece of wood that he's hanging from. This guy could be in the right here with the halo above his head. That's an insight I noticed, but potentially people aren't noticing him, so it could be a card about not being noticed, among other things. That was the Hanged Man. Next we have Death. Death is a card of transformations and rebirth traditionally. So we have lots of things pointing to that, like when, first of all, when something passes, something new is born out of it oftentimes, and that's the cycle of death and rebirth. Then we have the sun here signifying a new day, new things to come. We have this man with a skull head on a white horse holding a flag with a white flower on it. And it could also mean surrendering to things that you're trying to fight. It could also indicate a little bit of chaos, as there is a lot going on in this card actually, which, like I said about another card, I have still yet so much to learn about this card, but if we really look at it, there are so many things that you can gain insights from. Like there's people here, it looks like there's someone pleading with death here. It looks like there is someone on the ground and two people on their knees. So it could very well mean that someone has to say please in a situation and be very humble. There's so many things that you could glean from the little things in this card, but for the most part, this card is totally about transformations and rebirth, okay? Next, we have Temperance. Temperance is about balance. look at her balancing the cups there and balance. So she's also pouring water from one cup to another. So this is about current. This is about flow state. This is about being in a flow state, especially here with this symbol on her forehead. This is also a card about divine guidance and angelic guidance. Sorry. The water beneath her is very, very still. So this could be a card about emotional stability as well, and having it and learning how to have it, especially learning how to have it. This is a card that has a beautiful sort of bog area or like riverside area. So it could mean spending time in nature, keeping oneself grounded, and other insights like that. Of course, there's little mountains in the back. There's a little, what seems like a sun, and that's a frequent thing in tarot, is the sun and the mountains. So a lot can be gleaned from that. Like there's a long path in the background, so it could mean that you're on the path to learning how to do something. And I hope you guys are enjoying these like little insights that I'm giving you. But this is literally what it is to read cards. You're actually reading the card and not memorizing just the main things. But if you are to memorize something, like I said, this card is about balance, it's about divine guidance, and it is about, balance and divine guidance. Next, we have the devil. The devil could be about so many different things. Traditionally, let's cover this up. Traditionally, it is about things like obsession. It's about things like addictions. It's about things like constraints. It's about things like yeah, that's the gist of it. But there's so many other ways this can be read in that sphere. Of course, the two people have chains on them, but they could easily get out of the chains. And it could mean anything to do with the element of fire as well. It could have to do with things like intrusive thoughts and anxieties. It could have things to do with temptation. Temptation is a big one in the traditional meaning of this card. So that was that card. Next, we have the Tower. The Tower is all about like a big life-changing event that is chaotic, something that brings someone out of their comfort zone completely. It could be something that is negative and puts someone through like a storm in their life, but it could just mean, and I noticed several other readers, not just myself, read it like this. It could just mean that something in your life is being totally shaken up. And I read that with renewal as well. Something's being changed, something's being totally shaken up. Now in this card, you have someone falling. So this could be a card of warning. It's also built on an unstable foundation. So this could be a card about foundations. I'm just trying to get through this as quickly as possible now because the time's ticking. Okay, so that was the Tower. We have the Star, which is about hope, destiny, alignment. It's about success, succeeding in your endeavors. It has other insights that you can glean all around it. I'm trying to get this video done as quick as possible now, so I'm not going to get into it, but If you look at her jar of water and she's pouring water on the ground, you can come up with insights from that. There is a jug of water in her other hand, so that could mean something like whoever it is that you're reading for is actually not ambidextrous, but they are capable of juggling multiple things at once, among other insights that you can get that are not totally traditional. But yes, this card is a card of hope, destiny, fate, and someone shining. The moon is about hidden things, okay? That is the main meaning of the moon, but it could also be about the cycle of the moon. It could be read astrologically in that sense. It could mean reflecting on something. It could mean anything like that. It could mean to be careful. It could mean that there was one more I wanted to mention here. What was it? Oh yes, something to do with the divine feminine and feminine energies, because that's what the moon is in relation to. So that's very much an association I would try not to forget. And this card is also very busy with a very busy background and little details, so you could glean so much more off of it if you wanted to. The sun is about happiness. It's about joy. It's about having the time of your life. It's about health. It's about peace. It's also a masculine energy in comparison to the moon. And those are the main traditional meanings of it, but you also have all these things to look at. The sunflowers, you have the red flag, you have the different rays of the sun, you have this wall almost. And what could that mean? Maybe you guys can figure out what the other things in this card can mean in your own personal readings. Okay, let's try to get this done. We have Judgment. Judgment is about renewal. It's also about celebrating your accomplishments and being celebrated by others. It's about divine blessings, and it is about various other things, but those are the main things, and we'll leave it at that. And then we have the World. Great. The World is about essentially the world. It's about a cycle coming to completion. It's the last card in the Major Arcana, and it means that the world is at your fingertips, that she's holding a magic wand in her hand, actually two. Could be a candlestick, but it looks like a magic wand to me. And she's juggling it. So this is about manifesting all of your desires. This is about your journey coming to a completion. This is about having the things that you've been waiting for. You also have all these little animals and a person in the corners. So it's also about being supported. It's about being watched over. It's about the unity of heaven and earth. It's about, like, you can see she's dancing. Like, another insight you could glean off of it is just having fun in the world. Another insight you could glean off of it is travel, like traveling the world, etc., etc. So much you could glean from each card. So I'm going to leave it there for this video because it's getting a little bit long. And we will cover the Minor Arcana in a separate video. So that was the Major Arcana of the Tarot and all of their meanings as interpreted by me and using traditional meanings as well. I hope that helped you. If this helped you whatsoever, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Have a good one.